Imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential, the ghost of the ideas you never acted on, the ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together, grave together, grave together, grave together, grave together.
Mic checker, chicka, chicka, chicka. It's not some, baby. Yeah. A one time, baby. What? For your mind, baby. Yeah. We gon' shine, baby. And what we do, we gon' grind, baby. Yeah. What? And this is another episode, so of Swingers After Dark. And this is your host, not some, baby. Here we go. You know, a lot of people ask me, how do I write a book? And you know, I've been writing for years. Like, I've been writing for years to the point where I come with ideas automatically. Like blinking and breathing. It like comes to me. Like, I come up with ideas by accident, then on purpose. And you know, people ask me, you know, is this based on your real life or is it imagination? You know, a lot of my writings is based on just pure imagination. And when I have writer's block, I grab from my personal experiences and I remix the story. I may like change a few things because I got to protect the guilty, if you know what I'm saying. And, you know, I said all that to say, you know, when I start a project, I have a plan. When I start like a book project, I have a plan. And I stay with that plan. Like, people call writing an art. I say it's more than an art. It's a discipline. Because I write every day, whether it's on social media, whether it's on my phone, it's practice to me. Like, I'm always writing. It's like working on a muscle. When you correctly work on a muscle, you're going to gain muscle mass. So when I study the art of writing, when I know what to do and what not to do, and I study from the greats, and I read certain articles that would, you know, that will allow me to gain insight about how to craft a story, it strengthens my penmanship. You understand me? I'm always improving. Like, the day I stop improving is the day I retire. This the day I stop writing. You know, I'm never going to be so great to the point where I'm going to disregard advice or suggestions. Like, I want to be the greatest, and I am the greatest. And that's the point of me writing. Like, if I'm not striving to be the greatest, then why the hell I'm doing it? You understand me? And that's what my mindset, that's the mindset that I have when I start a book project. Like, this book project that I'm currently writing is called Fuck, F-U-C-K. Yes, F-U-C-K. Fuck. I wanted to keep it simple, straight to the point. I don't want no long, elaborate title that says, what the fuck does this mean? Or, you know, I didn't need any esoteric or no complicated shit. I just named it Fuck. I mean, what the fuck? Like, even the way I came up with that title was organic. Because I was like, what should I name this book? Fuck. Oh shit. I'm going to name it that. I'm going to name it Fuck. Yes, I got my title. You see how easy I came up with that title? Fuck. Simple as that. Now, it's really unorthodox, but hey, and the immortal word of my book title, I don't give a fuck. You know? And when I first started writing books in 2009, my first book called I Hate My Job, it was 300 plus pages. It was over 300 pages. And then, you know, after I wrote a 300-page book, I kept on doing it to the point where I wanted to challenge myself to write a 500-page book. And I did it.
I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything. except my faith. I want to fall forward.
I wanted to write a 500-page book that keeps your attention from front to back, from start to finish. Because when I'm writing a book, not only I'm competing with other books, I'm competing with social media, I'm competing with stream sites, I'm competing with your friends, your family, your significant other. I'm competing for your attention. It's not like back in the 1900s where, it's not like in the 1900s where you was only competing with a jukebox and a television set that only had 3 channels, 5 the most. Nah, I'm competing with all types of stimuli that I can't afford to write any filler content within 69 chapters. Yes, you heard right, 69 chapters. You heard what I just did right there, right? 500 pages with 69 chapters of fuckery. No pun intended. And that's what I did. I set forth to write a 500-page book, and I did it. And not only is 500 pages of fire, it's classic material. It's classic because I know my capabilities. I don't shortcut when it comes to my writings. To write is to rewrite. So when I first started the Fuck Project, the first 10 chapters, it didn't move me. It did not move the needle. So I scrapped it and I wrote the book again. And it was like, I just woke up one day and then everything started clicking. Everything just started clicking. It's like the stars aligned and I was off to the races, And when I start a book project, first, I think of something I want to write about. I think of the subject matter. Then I work the characters around that subject matter. I think of the characters that I want to introduce to the story. Once I got my characters on point, I think of the plot, the main plot, and then the subplots, and then I think about the twists and turns and all that good stuff. And then as I go on, I may add some material and I may subtract material to trim the fat, because everything I write is not going to be hot. Like, I'm my own worst critic. I know when something is doo-doo and I know when something is, it's outstanding. I'm my own worst critic. Like, when I read my material, I'm not reading from an egotistical standpoint. I'm reading to the point from a standpoint of a reader. Like, I got to figure out if I want to buy this book or a sandwich for lunch. Is this book worth my money, or is me buying this sandwich worth me satisfying my hunger? Instead of my stomach, I want to satisfy my mind. And that's why it takes me months to finish a book. I could easily finish a book in 2-3 months or 2 months. I could easily write some bullshit down and sell it, but I would be disrespecting my talent. I would be disrespecting the arts and crafts. Can I do it? Sure, but I am not a sprint writer. Some people could do it, but I'm a marathon writer because I put a lot of thought into my work. I don't want my writings to be fast food where you eat it and then shit it out an hour later. No, I want to give you nourishment. I want my writings to stay with you for life. You feel me? I wanted the writings to soak in your DNA, to soak in your genes. I want it to linger forever. And that was the plan that I set forth. And, I started off with small goals. And then as I got into the routine of accomplishing those goals, I built upon those goals. Like, I started off small. The goals that I know that was easily attainable, that could be easily attained, that I could reachable goals. I didn't have any grandiose goals to where I was discouraged if I did not complete those goals.
If you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
That's how I start off my book projects. When I first started writing in 2009, first I started off with writing 250 words a day. Then it became a routine. Writing became a habit. Then it was 500 words a day. Then it became 1,000 words a day, then 1,500 words a day, then 2,000 words a day. Then sometimes I could write 3,000 words a day. It depends on how my creative juices are flowing. Sometimes it's like a river, and sometimes it's like the Niagara Falls. I'm just in a zone. Sometimes I'm in a zone. I could write the whole day. You feel me? And that's what having a plan to accomplish those goals is about. It's about, what you're comfortable with. And it's about having discipline. You have to finish what you started. You feel me? Because if I had like $10 for every time somebody told me they wanted to write a book, I wouldn't have to pick up a pen or type on the keyboard ever. I would be a billionaire. Everybody want to write a book, but a lot of people don't want to put in the work, or they don't know where to start because it probably wasn't in them to begin with. They love the idea of doing something, but it's not in them. That's why it's nothing for me to write for free, because I've been doing it for years. It's a passion. And it's like success and prosperity to me is when I can make a living off my passion. It's not work to me. It's not a chore to me. It's something I want to do. Like that's the purest form of happiness to me. That's having a peace of mind when I can wake up every day and I'm doing something that I want to do. And everybody has a purpose in their life, and everybody has a meaning in their life. Everybody has a talent, and it's up to you to find that talent and find that talent, to improve on that talent, to work on that talent, to capitalize on that talent. Because you don't want to, during your last breaths, you don't want the talents that you never cultivated surround you and they're shaking their heads at you. They're upset at you because you did not use your talents. It's like you disrespected your talents. You disregarded them like they were orphans. Like you neglected your talents. Like they were, children without a home, because you did not use your talents. You did not recognize your talents. You did not find something that you love to do legally. Granted that talent is not hurting others, and hopefully not hurting yourself, but you get the point. And it's crazy because people want to write a book, but they don't know how to go about doing it. So that's where I come in at as the ghostwriter. Yes, them checks are looking good. And I bring their ideas to life. I bring their ideas to life because I know how to write it. I know how to write it down because I've been doing it for years. And it's crazy because, people are in awe of me writing a 500-page book when a lot of people don't even know how to write a 3-page essay. Like back in the day, when I was in college, when I was in high school, when I was in junior high school, I thought writing a 3-page essay was hell. I thought that shit was murder. Real talk, like double space. And it's crazy because back in college, even when I didn't like writing essays, I still wrote essays for other people, for other students who wanted to get hammered, who wanted to get drunk at bars, at the local bars near the school. So while they was getting shit-faced, I was writing their essays, giving them A's. That was my side hustle in college. So that's a perfect example of me using my talents to the best of my abilities.
Taking risk is not just about going for a job. It's also about knowing what you know and what you don't know. It's about being open to people and to ideas.
I was getting paid, baby. No ramen noodles for me, man. No ramen noodles for me. I was using that money to go to the grocery store and eat and buy clothes and turn up. So that's a prime example of me maximizing my talents to where I could capitalize by the way of having money. Because they didn't want to write an essay. They didn't know how to do it. So they enlisted in my services. And yes, I hit them at their pockets because time is money. You feel me? So I just wanted to speak with the family right quick, about taking a bull by the horns. You have to go all the way. You know, it like a challenge. You should never run away from a challenge that you know you could defeat. Like when I write a book, I'm my own worst critic. You know, I'm my own worst critic. Like when I write, I reread what I wrote in the mind of a reader, not from the mind of a writer. Nah, I tell myself, nah, you got to get rid of that, or add this, add that, work on this, work on that. I'm honest with myself, and you have to be honest with yourself to know what works and what doesn't work. You got to tell yourself, nah, this ain't it, chief. This ain't it. And when you're brutally honest with yourself instead of thinking with your ego, you're going to get far in life. And on that note, this has been another episode of Swingers After Dark, and this is your host, Not Son Baby. Check out my website at www.notsonblaze.com. That's www.nahsunblaze.com. And check out my ebook, You, Me, Us, Them, The Swinging Manifesto. It's on Nook, Kindle, iBooks, Google Play. Go get it. Shoot me an email at swingpodcast@gmail.com. That's swingpodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up with any questions or concerns that you may have. Rate, share, subscribe, and comment on this podcast. Dig. And on that note, until next time, peace.